When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does online business better than Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/income.
This is The Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic. When I was pregnant with my kids, I was not a runner. I was very happy and fortunate to have 2 healthy pregnancies, but I gotta be honest with you, I did not love being pregnant. I felt sick and uncomfortable in my growing body. There's a sense of surrender during pregnancy as your baby's needs start to eclipse your own, and I disliked feeling like I wasn't in control of my own body. It was hard to eat, even harder to sleep, and just doing my normal activities would leave me exhausted. So when I would hear stories of women who just loved being pregnant or ran every day during their pregnancies, I simply couldn't fathom it. I felt envious of those women, but I didn't let it get to me. Pregnancy was hard enough without comparing myself to others. I did what I could, but I definitely wasn't running. In the years since, I've coached countless women through their pregnancies and postpartum, and today I'm going to share what I've learned from them and from the research. Let's get into it. Welcome to The Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic, and my mission is to help you improve your running, your mindset, and your life with science-backed training and plant-based nutrition. Today's episode is all about running through pregnancy and postpartum. You'll learn how running can help you have a better pregnancy, an easier delivery, and a healthier baby. When not to run while pregnant, and how to get back into running shape in a safe and healthy way after delivery. This show is obviously female-focused, but that doesn't mean there's nothing in here for the guys listening. The human body is capable of incredible things, and if there is a woman in your life that has given birth or could in the future, you might want to listen up so that you can understand a little bit more of her experience. Before I get into the details, I want to take a moment to highlight my PR team. The PR team is a small group of runners just like you who are working with me and each other to stay consistent, stay accountable, and work towards becoming better runners every day. Not to mention, it's really fun. I'll talk more about the team later on in the episode, but if you're ready to learn more right now, head to theplantedrunner.com/group. And of course, don't forget to stay tuned all the way to the end of the episode for another Mental Strength Minute. Fortify your mind in 60 seconds or less. It used to be that pregnant women were advised to do practically nothing during their pregnancy for fear of harming the baby. Now we are learning not only that exercise is safe and recommended for most women, but many women can run right up until delivery. There are so many benefits to running during pregnancy for both the mother and the baby. Regular aerobic exercise reduces the risk of gestational diabetes, preterm birth, preeclampsia, which is pregnancy-induced high blood pressure, having a baby with high birth weight, and the need for a cesarean section. It may also improve your baby's brain development. Women who exercise during pregnancy have easier, faster labors, and they feel better postpartum, and the recovery is much quicker. This is all wonderful news, but speaking from experience as a mom of 2 kids, running while pregnant is easier said than done. I mean, at some point, even tying your own shoes is easier said than done. So let's get into the specifics of what running while pregnant might really look like. If you are not currently a regular runner, pregnancy is not the ideal time to begin the sport. Your gait is off, your balance is off, and you get out of breath just walking down your driveway, and everything feels harder. But you can do it as long as you start very, very slow. If you are a regular runner, you can keep doing it, but you're probably going to want to cut back on your volume and intensity. The first trimester is just a mess of hormones, so I promise you, you will want to ease up and not push yourself too intensely. Typically, women feel their best in the second trimester, but the added baby weight will start to be very noticeable on your runs. Many women choose to still run through their third trimester, and with your doctor's okay, this can be perfectly safe and healthy. To make things more comfortable, make sure you have a supportive sports bra, and you might also consider some belly support as well if that feels better. There are a few things to be aware of while running through your pregnancy. Overheating can be a concern during pregnancy, so take extra precautions running in the heat or run inside if the weather is warm. Your center of gravity changes while pregnant and your ligaments start to become looser. So make sure you're keeping up your strength training and be extra careful on uneven surfaces. Of course, with a baby on board, you will slow down and that is okay, but you don't necessarily need to cut back on the amount of time you're exercising, just the distance. Remember, if you do need to cut back on the amount of exercise, you're still getting fit. Pregnancy is going to increase blood volume and your heart capacity, which are both markers of increased fitness. One thing you will quickly learn as your pregnancy progresses is that your little one is putting extra pressure on your bladder. So don't forget to plan your running routes where you can take the extra bathroom breaks. On the nutrition side, your calorie needs are going to go up to support the baby and your exercise. But if you're nauseated or the baby is pressing onto your stomach, you might find that smaller, more frequent meals are more comfortable than large meals. At the same time, digestion slows during pregnancy, so you might need to wait a little longer after eating to start your run. Some women, like me, will find that running is just not for them during pregnancy. This could be for a health reason or simply because it's just too uncomfortable to be bouncing around. I didn't run during my pregnancies and I chose to swim instead. I got winded just walking down the street, so running didn't feel like an option. For me, the weightless feeling of the pool was a welcome relief to the heaviness that I struggled with on land. And if that's the case for you too, I encourage you to be open to new things, even if you're a lifelong runner. Cross training, especially swimming, has all the same benefits of running, and if it feels better to you while pregnant, go for it. Pregnancy is hard enough without adding the unnecessary anxiety that you are somehow losing your running fitness. It will come back. And that leads us to the next part of this episode, getting back into shape after baby. I'll go over that right after a short break. I want to tell you about a unique opportunity for you to get stronger, faster, and stay motivated to hit your running and nutrition goals this year, and that is to join the PR team. I started it in 2022, and I have to tell you, it's even better than I imagined. Each member of the team gets a custom training plan made by me for you based on your unique fitness goals and lifestyle. Everything you need to achieve your running dreams is included, such as strength training, recovery, and even cross training if you want. You'll also get weekly mental strength training and training tips and nutrition guides. But here's where it gets really cool. The group has its own page in the app where we share workouts, ask training questions, and get feedback from me and the other teammates. And each week, I create an exclusive private podcast just for the team based on the questions I get and what I see in their training each week. And I usually end up sharing behind the scenes and exclusive sneak peeks with the team that I don't share anywhere else. So instead of joining a Facebook group or sitting through another Zoom call, you get to listen to tailored advice on the run, and you don't have to do all of this alone. When you're ready to take your running to the next level and join an amazing team of runners, head to theplantedrunner.com/group and join us today. It's more affordable than you think, and I can't wait to have you. The Planted Runner is sponsored by Liquid IV. You've been sweating through the summer and finally cooler temperatures of the fall are on their way. But that doesn't mean that you should lose focus on proper hydration for running and for life. Now is the perfect time to stock up on Liquid IV's new Energy Multiplier, sugar-free hydrating energy. It's scientifically formulated to support physical energy, hydration, focused mood, and even social stamina. You already know that it hydrates better than water for your runs and your workouts, but it's also perfect for when you feel run down after a long night out, and it's what I have in my carry-on anytime I'm hopping on a flight. I especially love the blackberry lemonade flavor. Don't just power through your day, ditch the glitch with zero sugar and zero crash from Liquid IV. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code PLANTED at checkout. And that's 20% off your first order with code PLANTED at liquidiv.com. Welcome back to The Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic. Once your little one is here, you might be tempted to get back into your pre-baby body as soon as you can. But the first thing to remember is that everyone has a different recovery schedule, and it's always best to ease back into running. Ignore those celebrities that seem to bounce back to their pre-baby weight a week after delivery. A good rule of thumb to remember is that it took you 9 months to make a baby. It should take you at least 9 months to get back into your pre-baby shape. Yes, some people get in shape quicker and some slower, but it is so important to give yourself some grace with this process. You just grew a human being inside your body, and that is no easy task. Common recommendations are to wait 6 weeks after a vaginal birth and 10 to 12 weeks after a C-section before starting heavy exercising, and definitely talk to your doctor about your running history to get her recommendations. With my first baby, I had an emergency C-section that ended up being very traumatic on me physically. There was no way I was going to be running anytime soon after. My second child was a planned C-section, which ended up going more smoothly, thankfully, so I recovered sooner. Your journey will be unique to you, so my best advice is to start slow. Running too soon can cause or exacerbate conditions like diastasis recti, where the abdominal muscles split apart during pregnancy and fail to come back together on their own. Another complication is uterine prolapse, where a woman's pelvic floor muscles become so stretched and weakened that they no longer can support the uterus. As a result, it slips down into the vagina and in some cases protrudes out of it. So be careful and let your body heal. Exercises that target your outer abdominals, such as sit-ups, crunches, bicycles, full-body planks, and more, they can aggravate diastasis recti and should be avoided until your abs are back to normal. Instead of running those first few weeks, walk. Walk with your partner, walk with the baby in a stroller, or just take a few minutes to walk by yourself because you will need the alone time. For strength training, focus on pelvic floor exercises, Kegels, glute bridges, clamshells, wall sits, squats, bird dogs. These will help the muscles that work so hard during your pregnancy and delivery. Any jumping exercises or plyometrics can actually weaken your core muscles until you have healed and built your strength back up. So once you've healed, you can bring them back in to build strength and power. If you are breastfeeding, running might feel very uncomfortable, so be sure to have a good fitting sports bra, preferably a nursing sports bra, and again, take it easy. A good tip is to try pumping or feeding your baby 15 to 20 minutes before you run. This will make you feel a little more comfortable on the go. Once baby is about 6 months old, invest in a jogging stroller. It will be a big adjustment to use and it will make your runs more challenging with the added weight, but it can be a lifesaver when you need to get your exercise in with a baby. As an added bonus, most babies will sleep during the runs, so you both are happy. Don't forget to hydrate and fuel well. Just like during your pregnancy, you will need the extra fluid and calories to maintain your running, especially if you're breastfeeding. Of course, the most important thing is to remember to be flexible. Maybe you can't run for 1 or 2 hours at a time like you used to, but maybe you can break up your run into 2 runs instead. And finally, don't expect to set any PRs right away, but you will get back into shape if you are consistent and patient. Many moms, myself included, can get into the best shape of their lives after having kids. After all, you're gonna need your fitness with the little ones more than ever. And now it's time for the Mental Strength Minute. Fortify your mind in 60 seconds or less. Today's topic is, you've been here before. This one is inspired by two of my athletes this week who use this mantra when running gets hard. It can be tempting to give in to the struggle and really focus on how difficult the run is going. Often that leads to even more suffering. But the simple mantra, you've been here before, reminds yourself that you've done harder things and you will get through this one too. This is where the tough runs and workouts you do in training come back to remind you that, yes, you are stronger than your suffering. The more often you choose to put yourself through hard things, the easier they are to overcome.
Thank you for listening to The Planted Runner, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. Don't forget that you can enter to win a free custom training plan for your next race and get featured on the show. Just write an Apple Podcast review and enter at theplantedrunner.com/PRLab. Of course, reviews are the number one way to boost this show's reach, and it's a great way to tell me what you'd like to hear next because I read every single one. Have a great run today.